Hi, welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I've got a little sequence here for you that I put together for a friend of mine who does a lot of running, and she's been having some trouble with her piriformis muscle. So it's just a little muscle underneath our gluteus maximus. It runs from the lower spine diagonally to the top of the femur. It's very close to the sciatic nerve, so there's quite a crossover between the issues we have with our piriformis and things like sciatica, so that lower back pain radiating down the back of the leg, sometimes hip pain. And it's something that is fairly common with runners. And one of the ways to avoid it or help it if it has occurred is to make sure that we strengthen and activating the muscles that we need to activate when we are going out running. Something that I often get with runners who come to my yoga classes is I ask them what they do apart from the running. So I'll ask what they do to strengthen, to help their mobility, what they do to aid their running. And I often hear that they don't do that much to aid it because they think that just going out and doing the running is what creates the strength. Sadly, it doesn't. It certainly does create some strength and a bit of muscle tone. Obviously helps with your cardiovascular system, but there is a lot of strengthening we need to do before we go out running, and just in general to help support us on our runs. So strengthening the core muscles, strengthening the glutes, strengthening the legs. So running alone will not do that. I know myself because I do quite a lot of running, and the thing that helps prevent the injuries the most is doing a fair bit of strength training outside of the running. So if we can do all the different bits, hopefully we get to carry on running for longer and pain-free. So that's what this little sequence will hopefully do. So this sequence I designed to be done either before you go out for a run. So we will activate, as I say, a lot of the muscles that we'll be using when running, get them nicely warmed up and working already, so that when you go out running, we've not got any lazy glutes or lazy cores, so that we're sinking down into our legs. So you can do it either just before you go out for a run to get everything working, or you can just do it on its own as a way of strengthening all those muscles that we need for our running. Now, I've been playing around with this. You might be wondering what it is. Some of you might know exactly what it is. This is a yoga block. If you have one, grab hold of it. It'll come in handy. If not, you can use a book. It is quite helpful, or you might want to invest in one of these. They're not too expensive. You can get them from most yoga websites or exercise shops. Just go and find one and pick one up. They're fairly easy to get hold of and come in helpful in lots of ways. So if you do have one, grab it. If you can grab a book, grab a book. If you don't have one, don't worry, it's not the end of the world. You won't be stopped from doing any of the practice because you don't have it. It would just be helpful. So once you're ready, make sure you've got something comfy on and bring yourself onto the mat. So if you stand facing the front of your mat, standing towards the top of the mat, I will stand facing you though. And we're just going to take a moment tuning in, settling into the body. So standing with your feet hip distance apart, standing up nice and tall, shoulders down and back, lowering the gaze or closing the eyes. And just taking a little moment, settling the breath, settling the body, tuning into how you feel in this moment. So no judgment or expectation, just awareness of how you feel. Maybe you're raring to go and excited to get out for a run. Maybe you're feeling a little lethargic and feel like you ought to run because you'll feel better, but you can't really be bothered. That's all alright. But just notice how you are feeling Accept it for what it is in this moment. Tuning into your natural breath. Feeling that flow of air in and out of the body. Breathing through the nose if you can. Trying to create smooth, even inhales and exhales. Steady, even breathing. And then with your next inhale, we'll take the arms out and up, stretching into the space around you. Bring the hands to prayer above the crown. And then exhale, draw the hands down to prayer in front of the heart. And again, inhale, take the arms out and up. Exhale, draw the hands down to prayer in front of the heart. And once more, inhale. And exhale. Fantastic. Releasing the hands down by the sides. Just walk the feet out a little bit wider. Let the hands be loose. We're just going to twist from side to side. So nice and steady to start off with. Let the hands be loose. Take the gaze with the twist. Now at any point if you start to feel dizzy, keep the gaze straight ahead instead or slow it down. But if you feel okay, we're going to start to make that twist a bit bigger by bending into the knees. Let the arms be nice and heavy, moving freely. Twisting through the spine, starting to lift the heels, making that movement a little bigger. Bringing the arms up a little so they're up towards waist height. Up to shoulder height. Make sure you've not got too many things around you that you're going to knock off. Bringing the arms all the way up so they're up above the head. Great, back down to shoulder height. Waist height. And then gradually starting to slow that movement down. Allowing it to come to a natural end, not forcing it. And if you can, just closing the eyes again, tuning in. Become aware of that energy moving through the body. Fantastic. I'm just going to sort my mat out. It's got all wriggled up when we did that. Fab. So bringing the feet back in, so you're standing again hip distance apart. With the inhale, we're going to reach the arms up. With the exhale, we're going to take a deep bend into the knees, drawing the arms down and sweeping them out behind. So coming into ski swings. So the inhale reaches up, you can even lift the heart, little back bend. Exhale, sweep the arms down into a ski swing. Now you can do this as fast or as slow as you want to. Again, if you feel at all dizzy, slow it down, keep the gaze ahead instead of dropping the gaze. Or if you're feeling good, speed it up. Get the energy moving, get the breath flowing, the heart pumping. Great, one more. Great, then inhale, reach the arms up. We're going to take hold of the right wrist with the left hand. Exhale and bend to the left. Inhale, center. Swap hands. Exhale, bend into the right. Inhale, center. Release the hands. Bring the hands down onto the lower back. Fingers facing down. We're going to just take a little back bend. Little bend in the knees. Tuck the tailbone under. Lift the heart up towards the ceiling. Inhale, come into center, slide the hands around onto the front of the legs, little bend in the knees, and we're going to fold forward over both legs. Hands coming down onto the mat or onto the legs. So it's your first forward fold. Don't worry about it being your best forward fold you've ever done. Have a good bend in the knees. Let the body hang down. With an inhale, we're just going to look up and lengthen. Exhale and fold forward again. Great, keep that bend in the knees. Inhale, take the arms out and up. Draw yourself all the way back up to standing. Take hold of the right wrist with the left hand. Exhale, bend into the right. Sorry, the left. Rights and lefts. Come on, Frayah. Inhale, center. So up the grip, bend into the right. Inhale, center. This time, see if you can keep the arms lifted. We'll do another little back bend. So, little bend in the knees. Tuck the tailbone under. Lift the ribcage. Lift the chest. Open the heart up towards the ceiling. Inhale, center. Exhale, sweep the arms out to the side as you dive forward, coming into your forward fold. Nice bend in the knees. Let the head hang down. Maybe give it a bit of a shake. Release any tension in the neck. And then inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, folding forward again. Keep that little bend in the knees. Take the arms out and up. Draw yourself all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands down to prayer in front of the heart. Fantastic. So grabbing hold of that block or book or whatever you've got to hand. And we're just going to pop the brick, block, book, whatever you've got, between the thighs. So just above the knees. So you've got movement in the knees. We're just going to squeeze the thighs in towards the block. So you're squeezing that block, holding it nice and steady between the legs. And we're going to go into our chair pose. So hands on the hips to start off with. Keeping that tailbone a little tucked under. We're bending into the knees, coming into chair. So what we're trying to avoid is folding forward over the legs. Try and keep the chest lifted. Doesn't matter if you don't come down too low. I find chair pose quite a challenging one, so I don't tend to come down too low, but I can certainly feel it working on my thighs, which is what we want. Making sure you're still tucking that tailbone under so you're not sticking the bum out too much. You're engaging those lower abdominal muscles. Weight is back towards the heels. And then we'll straighten back up through the legs. Fantastic. So we're going to do that again. And this time with our hands in prayer in front of the heart. So standing up nice and tall, deep breath in. Exhale, bend into the knees, coming into chair. So again, keep the chest lifted, tuck that tailbone slightly. Try and engage those lower abdominal muscles. Keep squeezing the block between the thighs. Nice, steady breaths through the nose. And then a big breath in. Exhale and straighten through the legs. Fantastic. Last time, this time we're going to take the arms out and up. So palms facing, shoulders down. Nice big breath in. Exhale, bend into the knees, coming into that chair pose. So again, try and tuck the tailbone slightly. Keep drawing the arms back. Looking straight ahead. Nice smile if you can. Great, big breath in. Exhale, straighten through the legs. Fantastic. Release the block. So pop the block down wherever you can. We'll inhale, take the arms out and up. Exhale, folding forward from the hips. Coming into your forward fold. So bend the knees as deeply as you need to place the hands down onto the mat. And we'll step straight back for downward facing dog. So you can always give the heels a little bit of a walk here. Shake the head, nod the head. Just ease the body into down dog. Remember, it's not about getting the legs straight. So you can have a good bend in the knees, send that tailbone up towards the ceiling. Try and find that length through the upper body. Fab. Then inhale, bring the weight forwards to plank. So a nice steady plank. push up away from the mat. Again, tuck the tailbone, engage those lower abdominal muscles, protect the lower back. Fab. From here, you're gonna squeeze that right knee in and see if you can step it to the outside of the right hand. Fab. And then you're just gonna step that foot back. And then the same on the left. So squeeze that left knee in and step it to the outside of the left hand. Lovely. Step that foot back, coming back to your plank. Great. And again on the right. Squeeze the leg in, step that right foot through. And then back. And the left foot to the outside of that left hand. Fantastic. And back. Once more on either side. So step the right foot forward. Keep pushing through that left heel. And back to plank. And then the left foot. Fantastic. And back to plank. Wonderful work. This time we're going to step that right foot to the outside of the right hand. You're going to bring the left knee down onto the mat. Top of the back foot down onto the mat. Now you're going to bring your weight into your right hand. No. Honestly, lefts and rights. Come on, Frayah. You're going to bring your weight into your left hand. You're going to bring your right hand up onto your right knee. From here, we're going to roll onto the outside edge of that right foot, opening up through the right hip. So you're not pushing that right knee. Most of the weight is going through the left hand. You're just opening up through the right hip. Nice, steady breaths. Fantastic. Bring that right knee back in. Pop the right hand down. Tuck the back toes. Lift the back knee. Step back to your plank. Straight onto the left side. So step that left foot forward outside of the left hand. Pop the back knee down. Top of the back foot down. Weight into the right hand. Left hand resting on that left knee. Rolling onto the outside edge of the left foot as you open up through that left hip. So try not to collapse the hips down. Try to keep using the glutes. Use those glutes, use those leg muscles. Strengthen at the same time as stretching. So we're not just collapsing straight into our full mobility. We're using our body in the way that it should be used. Fab. Then bringing left knee back in towards the center, pop the left hand down, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and step back to your plank. Fantastic. From here, elbows tucked in, we're going to lower down onto your front, coming down to lying on your front on the mat. So now it's your choice. Baby cobra with hands in front of the shoulders, or full cobra with hands underneath the shoulders. Whichever you choose though, elbows are tucked into the sides of the body. With an inhale, draw the shoulders back. Squeeze the shoulder blades, pressing up, coming up into cobra, looking straight ahead. Hips rooted, shoulders down. Exhale and lower. And again, inhale. And exhale and lower. And then once more, inhale. And exhale. Fantastic. We're going to rest the forehead on the hands. And we're going to go into our locust pose. Now there's lots of variations of this pose. You can either do lifting alternate legs, you can just do the lower body, or you can just do the upper body. So if you know that it's not good for you, then choose a variation that works better for you. But we're just going to do 5 full locust poses if that works for you. But remember, listen to your own body. Do what works best for you. So forehead resting on the hands. With an inhale, we're going to lift the legs and lift the chest. Exhale and lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale and lower. 3 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. I won't lie, I've lost count. Let's just do one more. Inhale. And exhale. Fantastic. Bring the hands onto the mat. Tuck the toes. Press into the hands. Send the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Give the heels a little bit of a walk. Shake the head, nod the head. You can always drop the knees in towards the center line. Really work into the hips. Whatever feels good right now. Fantastic. Then we're going to lift the gaze towards the top of the mat. We're going to step that right foot through between the hands this time. So big step forward. We're going to keep the back knee lifted coming into a high lunge. So because we have the back knee lifted, we want to try and have a nice straight line between front knee and ankle. Make sure there's a bit of a gap between your feet so you're not all on one straight line, because then you'll be all wobbly. You can stay with your hands down, or if you feel steady, we're going to draw the arms up, coming all the way up into a high lunge. Fantastic. From here, either keep the arms lifted or you can bring the hands onto the hips. With an inhale, we're going to straighten through that front leg. With an exhale, bending again, coming into your lunge. So inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Again, try and tuck that tailbone slightly. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. 2 more. Last one. Fantastic. From here, pop the hands down, step back and down dog. Lovely. Take a moment, let the breath settle. Let the body settle. Lovely. Then lift the gaze, step that left foot through between the hands. Let's have a little wriggle around, make sure the feet are in the best place for you. Having that left knee above the left ankle. Either keep the hands down or draw yourself all the way up. Coming into your high lunge. So really push through that back heel, use the back leg. Think about drawing the legs in towards the center line. So you're engaging all those muscles. Fab. And then we're straightening through the left leg. Exhale and bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Fantastic. Bringing the hands down. Step back. Downward facing dog. Fab. Take a few breaths. Settle the body. Settle the breath. Lovely. So lift the gaze towards the top of the mat again. Walk the feet forward or step forward right. Step forward left. Coming into Uttanasana at the top of your mat. Hands either on the legs or on the mat. A little bend in the knees. Inhale. Take the arms out and up. Draw yourself all the way up to standing. Exhale. Hands down to prayer in front of the heart. Lovely work. So from here, you might want a strap because we're going to do extended hand to toe pose. So if you've got a strap or a scarf, then grab hold of one. Should have mentioned that at the beginning. Apologies. So if you do have a strap, let's do it quickly with the strap. First, we're going to take the strap around the ball of the right foot. Lovely. Hand on the left hip. We're going to bring that right leg up. So you can shorten the strap or scarf or whatever you got to whatever length works best for you. And then we're going to straighten that right foot out in front. So leg doesn't have to be completely straight, but what we do want to do is keep lifting up through the upper body, standing up nice and tall. You can have a bit of a bend in the supporting leg to help with balance. The right leg doesn't have to be super high, but as I say, just keep standing up nice and tall. From here, we're going to see if we can do a little bend into our supporting leg. So you don't have to come down too low, but just a little bend. You'll feel the glutes start to work, the thighs really working. And then we'll straighten up. We'll bend that right knee. Release the strap. You can keep that strap in your hand. And we'll take a big step back with that right foot, ready for Parsvottanasana. So again, little gap between the feet so you're not all on one straight line. Toes facing front if you can, or you can turn the back toes out a little to help with balance. Hands on the hips, hips nice and level. With an exhale, we're folding forward over that left leg. So we're working towards that left leg being almost straight, but not completely straight. So a little micro bend in the knee so you're not locking the knee out. But if it's not straight just yet, don't worry. Just have a little bend in the knee. As long as you can feel a good stretch down the back of the leg, you're doing great. From here, we're going to go into revolve triangle. So our right hand is down. We're going to reach up with the left hand, looking towards the left hand. If it's too much on the neck to look towards the left hand, just look straight ahead, or you can look down towards the mat. Lovely. We'll lower that left hand down, bring the hands back to the hips, lengthen through the spine, draw yourself all the way back up to standing. And then a big step forward. Fantastic. And we'll go on to the other side. So taking that strap around the left foot, weight into the right foot, bring that left foot up, hand on the right hip. We're going to straighten the left foot out in front. So again, trying to stand up nice and tall. So try not to lock that elbow out that's holding the leg up as well. Have a little bend in that elbow, shoulder down. And we'll see if we can bend into the right knee. So as I say, you don't have to come down too low, but just till you can feel all those muscles really working. Great, straighten back up, bend into the left leg, release the strap, big step back, ready for Parsvottanasana. So our right leg is forward, left leg is back, hands on hips, standing up nice and tall, and then folding forward over that right leg. Release the hands down onto the mat or onto the leg. So make sure you can feel a nice stretch down the back of that right leg. So have a little wriggle around with the hips. You might want to drop the left hip a little. You might find it's lifted. So try and drop the left hip, lift the right hip, and you should increase the stretch. Now we'll move into revolve triangle. So our left hand is down. We're reaching up with the right hand, looking towards that right hand. Try and keep the breath as steady as you can. That. Release that right hand down. Hands coming back to the hips. Inhale, lengthen up, draw yourself all the way up to standing. And then a big step forward, coming back to the top of the mat. Fantastic. So we'll go through that a little bit once more. I'm going to do it this time without using the strap, so just taking hold of my foot. Feel free to stick with the strap if that's better for you. Otherwise, it's just weight into the left foot. We're going to lift that right leg up, taking hold of the big toe. Left hand on that left hip, stretching the right leg out in front. Again, standing up nice and tall. Remember, leg doesn't have to be dead straight, but if you can work towards straightening it, then do. And then we're just bending into the supporting leg, coming into a little one-legged squat. Keep trying to lift the chest, try not to let the knee roll in or out. And then straightening up, bend into that right leg, release the foot, big step back, coming into Parsvottanasana. So this time, we'll either take hold of opposite elbows behind the back, or hands in reverse prayer. We're going to take a little back bend, so lifting the heart up towards the ceiling. Inhale, center. Exhale, folding over that left leg. So you might find you're a little bit wobbly, she says as she wobbles over. Don't worry, that's all good. So those wobbles are helping to stabilise and strengthen the muscles that we use when we're running. We'll release the hands down towards the mat. Right hand down, reaching up with the left hand, looking towards that left hand, coming into our revolve triangle. Or again, remember, you can look straight ahead if the neck's not feeling too good. Lovely, we'll release that left hand down, hands back behind the back, straightening up through the spine, drawing yourself all the way up to standing. Big step forward, coming back to the top of the mat, release the hands. And we'll go on to the other side. So weight into the right foot, take hold of the toe of the left foot or strap around that left foot, straightening the left leg out in front, standing up nice and tall. Little bend into the supporting leg, coming into that one-legged squat. Fantastic, straighten up, bend into that left knee, release the foot, big step back, hands either holding on to opposite elbows, hands on hips or hands in reverse prayer. Little bend back, lift the heart towards the ceiling, and then inhale back to center. Exhale, folding forward over that right leg. Great, release the hands down towards the mat. Left hand is down, reaching up with that right hand, looking towards the right hand. Great, lower the right hand down. Hands behind the back again or onto the hips. Inhale, lengthen up. Draw yourself all the way up to standing. And then big step forward. Releasing the hands. Give the legs a little shake. So nice bend in the knees, hands heavy, head heavy. Rolling down through the spine. Really round the back, taking hold of opposite elbows and just ragdoll from side to side. Fantastic. So you can hang out here as long as you like to. If you're ready to come out though, rolling back up through the spine and give the shoulders a little roll back. Lovely. So if you're now heading out for your run, enjoy your run. If you've just done it as a strengthening, I hope you enjoyed it. You can always take longer in any of the poses or increase the length of time you do it for, so increase the amount of reps you do. Yeah, hopefully you get on well with it. Let me know how you do. And there will be a second video coming out. Once it's out, I'll pop a link in the description below. And for that one, we will look a bit more into strengthening for running and stretching. That's good for the piriformis and generally just tight glutes and all those bits that get tight when we are running. So keep an eye out for that. But otherwise, enjoy your runs. Bye.